Welcome back to Echoes Across Time. Esther Anaya is a Colombian-born DJ, singer-songwriter, music producer, and classically trained violinist known for electrifying performances that fuse electronic music with live instrumentation and vocals. With more than 2 decades of musical training and years of international touring, she's built a global career that spans stadium stages, major festivals, and collaborations with artists from Rihanna and Kanye West to Snoop Dogg and Maluma. She's performed at Super Bowl events, served as the official DJ for the Los Angeles Chargers, and created a signature performance style that blends precision, emotion, and raw energy. But behind the performances is a deeper story of discipline, reinvention, risk, and belief. Today, we're going to explore who Esther really is beneath the stage persona. What shaped her from a young violinist in Colombia into the artist she's become? What drives her ambition? And ultimately, the legacy she hopes to leave through music, impact, and the lives she's touched along the way. Because Echoes Across Time is about understanding not just what someone has done, but who they are and why. Welcome, Esther. Really happy to have you on the show. I am very privileged to say you are the first lady that I've had on the show, which is awesome. Great. So I hope the first of many, and I want far more ladies on this show. You have a really super interesting life. You grew up in Colombia, and I want to know what that was like. So let's start with, tell me a bit about your family and your childhood. I'd love to hear about what that was like.
Yeah, absolutely. I come from a small town in Colombia called Monteria. It's in the northeast of the country. It's such a beautiful city. I was born there, but I wasn't raised there. I was raised in Santa Marta, Barranquilla, and those two cities were kind of like I would probably say the main cultural influences in my life. I come from a musical family. We're 3. I'm the oldest. I have 2 younger brothers. We all love music. So I grew up listening to my dad playing the guitar, singing, composing, us playing at church, singing Christian music, composing, making songs. So my upbringing was very, very much family, music, dream big. But living in a small town in Colombia, I always saw that as like, I look up to Shakira, I look up to Sofia Vergara, I look up to Michael Jackson, all this Selena. And I'm like, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I dream of that, but I'm like, I'm in a small town in Colombia,
What was the emotional environment like at home?
Oh, it's very passionate. I think that my family and us, Latinos, we carry that much passion inside of us. We go through different struggles, but family is what actually keeps us together. And one good thing about my family was no matter what was going on in our lives, in our family at that moment, my dad was working for the government and in politics. It was not easy, but my parents were always so transparent with us, and they will always tell us, there's this happening. This happened to a family member. I have family members that were unfortunately killed back home, and that's one of the reasons why we had to leave our country. So my upbringing, I was very aware of what was going on in my country, and at the same time, we had was each other. Yeah. And as long as we were together and had music, it was like in God, that was what mattered to us.
Yeah, interesting. And your ancestry, like your grandparents, are all Colombian?
Yeah, so all my family is Colombian. We have some Arabic in our family as well, as Spaniard from Oman, and some Arabic from Oman, but yeah, full Colombian. We were colonized by the Europeans, so definitely we have a lot of Europeans in our blood. Yeah. They were not musicians, but my grandpa was always serenading my grandma, and it was like music was like the way of making people fall in love with each other. So I will hear all the stories of them always creating and making music to make the girls kind of like fall in love. So that was like the culture.
I'm always interested in what different cultures are like. And was yours one where there were a lot of family stories?
Oh, big time. I feel like, as a Latina and I don't know, like family is huge. So it's food, music, and family. That's how you show love. Grandma will always be cooking. Dad will make a song for everybody, even the dog we make a song to show love. So it's hilarious. We have a song for great grandma. We have a song for every cousin, everybody in the family. Like just big gatherings and everybody being
Yes.
together was kind of like a huge part of my upbringing. So that was
Yes.
that was one of the things that I miss so much leaving my country, because when I left, I was like, I don't even know when I'm going to see my family ever again.
Yeah.
But just growing up around that it's magical. It's
Yeah.
something that I would never trade for anything.
Yeah, I had the same, by the way, in Jamaica. Same thing, big family gatherings. Christmas was like 70 people. I mean, mad.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
all these.
everybody's cousins.
Yes, all these second cousins and third cousins, and yeah, it was absolutely like that. You said your dad was in politics, right?
So my dad used to work for the government. He used to work for the
Yeah,
ICA as a veterinarian, but they would do activations in different parts of of the city and the outside the city with people in different farms. So he
yeah,
would at the same time be active in politics and run different
right,
campaigns with our
right,
family,
right.
extended family. So they were involved.
Was that dangerous? Was that did that take him away a lot?
Yes, yes. I remember one of the saddest stages in my life. My dad, they moved him out of the city, so I will only see my dad twice or once in every week, right? So because he had to do all these campaigns, as he was always out, and being so close to my dad and not being able to see him, the last 2 years before we moved to the US was like so painful to me, because I was like, making music with him was kind of like I would probably say like get away from anything, any pain, any hardship or anything that we're going. It was like the thing that would keep us connected. But yeah, it was hard, and it was dangerous because you would not know. We would always be scared. Like it's very dangerous to be in those outskirts of the city, so
Yeah,
you never know. You could get a call. Like he one time almost he got robbed, gunpoint, and
yeah.
many other things happened. And when that happened, we were like, we need to do something. I'm like, I don't want to lose my father or anybody in my family.
And that's ultimately why you moved, right?
That was the main reason why we moved. It was after my dad almost got killed and robbed. He said, I'd rather be with you guys and us be safe and start all over again. It doesn't matter. Leave
Yeah.
everything behind, but as long as we're together, we'll make it through.
Yeah. And you were close with you said you had two siblings, right?
Yes, very
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go to music classes together.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
family was very strict. My mom was
Yeah.
very strict. It was like after school, go to the conservatory, practice. So we were very involved with music. We will
Yeah.
practice together. I'm still very close to them, and everybody in my family makes music by passion. I do it by passion and career wise, but everybody else was like, I do not have the personality to go through this. It's like, I choose something safer. It's like,
I'm interested, again, because of the similarity, sort of growing up in that culture, which is obviously very different from the US. Were there things that you learnt through living there that you then had to unlearn when you came to the US? Do you remember?
I would probably say a little bit tone it down in the way how I talk and the passion, the way I speak, because I talk with hands and everything, and it's like sometimes I don't talk, I scream. So I had to tone down a little bit my personality in every single way, from
Right.
colors and things that I would use and wear, and it was like, you too much, too many colors, you talk too much, you're too loud, lower your voice, and it's like, and I'm like, oh, okay. you know. I'm
Interesting.
pretty
Yeah,
sure
very interesting.
Jamaica has some
Yeah, don't worry.
similar.
Well, our parties were loud, very loud. I mean, you probably have the same thing when you arrive in Jamaica and you drive along the roads. You go along these streets and they've got these gigantic speakers all along the road, and it feels like the streets are alive with music. So probably the
Yeah,
same thing in Colombia, right?
same. It's a party. There's a party in Colombia called Tulu. In Tolu, people bring the huge speakers outside, and it's everybody dancing, singing. It's like a concert. It's like
Yeah,
a block party. It's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
so much
exactly.
fun. You
Yeah,
can't do
yeah.
this here. Police in 5 minutes.
No. Yeah, totally. Yeah, too many neighbors to complain. So I'm interested. I obviously picked up God, faith, spirituality are important to you. I just want to dive into that a little bit. Were your family were religious? Your parents, mom and dad,
Yeah,
grandparents?
yeah.
Yeah,
We all grew up in
Catholic,
Christian.
Christian.
And
Okay.
yes, we all grew up in a Christian environment, going to
Yeah.
church since I was very young. I sang
Yes.
in
Yes.
church, played at church. So it was kind of like my grounding time every Sunday. So my Sunday was church, church, church. Yeah, growing up.
I mean, did you ever kind of have any doubts about that? Was that ever tested for you?
I say that God is the reason why I am where I'm at.
Yeah.
I know that when I was very young and I knew what I was doing, I asked God and I said, I want to be X, Y, and Z, and I need you by my
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
So please help me. And the reason why I'm where I'm at, I'm like, I go back and I say he's been faithful and he helped me
Yes.
a lot. And that's why I believe in God, because if he showed up
Yeah.
for me when I needed the most, and even when I didn't, I knew he was there by my side. So
Yes. Interesting.
yeah.
And so when you're, in a moment when you might be nervous or anxious or stressed, do you get comfort from that?
Yes, I pray. I think, people meditate, people do certain things to calm themselves down. I feel for me, I pray. When you get frustrated, when you go through things in life, you cry, right? I don't like to cry to my husband or my family or my mom. It's like, I'm not in that age to do that anymore. I cry to God. I tell him my frustrations. I meditate. I read the Bible.
Yes.
I do from my side, and I feel comfort. I do feel that when I pray, I kind of release. It's like another way of releasing. Like I make music, I release
Yes. Yeah.
feelings and tension. Same thing with praying. It always makes me feel way better. Just my breathing and my prayer before entering a certain important meeting, doing a performance, practicing, trying to get inspiration, making music, writing music.
Yes.
I tap into a different level.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I believe that is kind of like not like my normal self. I feel it comes from God when I create certain things.
Yeah.
And I do know that, yeah.
So you are spiritually inspired.
100%, totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Spiritually inspired, I
Yeah.
would say that.
Yeah. So you feel when you're performing in the moment, you're not alone?
100%. I'm not alone.
Isn't that amazing? Because that gives you strength, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is tiring. It's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I mean, the idea of, having support there that is bringing out the best part of you is incredible, right? And I think as humans, our journey is, how do we go inside ourselves and find the best of us,
Yeah.
right? And you found your way to do that. And maybe the path for different people is different and they find it in different ways, but you find your way, which is amazing and very powerful.
100%.
When you moved from Colombia to America, where did you come to first when you moved to America?
Downey. Do you know where Downey is?
You're going to have to educate me. No.
So Downey, it's more like in the suburban side of LA, like close to Montebello, close to Pico Rivera. It's a huge Latin community
Right.
there. My aunt was living there
Yeah.
when we moved to this country. So we got there straight down. It was good. It was a lot of people that spoke Spanish, so I didn't feel too off,
Yeah.
you know.
It wasn't too much of a change. Yeah.
Thank God, because it was hard as it was.
Of course.
But at least it was people that spoke Spanish, and you know, I was able to kind of communicate and do my business deals.
Yeah.
I translate in Spanish class. You may do my homework in English, so it worked.
Yeah. Do you remember how you felt when you arrived here? Did you feel like it was home?
I felt scared. I was excited, but once I hit kind of like reality of being here and knowing that I don't know when I'm going to go back home, see my grandparents or anybody that I love and I grew up with, I had a lot of fear. I was like, how am I going to continue my dream? I don't even know how to speak English. I don't know anybody here. I'm like, people laugh at me because I don't speak English. And like sometimes like they would just talk behind my back in classes and I'm like, okay, what? And they just like start laughing and I'm like, okay. I'll just laugh with them. And I'm like, okay. So it was a lot of mixed feelings, but I still had hope because for me, the most important thing is that I had my dad and my mom and my brothers with me and we were going through this together.
Yeah, I remember arriving in England and going to an English school and, you know, all these little boys who all spoke with my accent that I have now and me with a Jamaican accent. I always felt different, but I never never in a bad way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Was it the same for you?
Yeah, totally. I was like, I always felt like I was the girl that was different, but I like being different. I never wanted to blend in. So that was one thing. I was feeling uncertain, obviously, because I didn't know what was going to happen. But I feel that built like thick skin on me.
Yeah.
Like like kind of like give me that kind of like strength and like kind of like, okay, you could do this no matter what is going around you.
Yeah.
Anything that is going, you could do it.
Yeah.
And I feel I needed to go through that in life to be able to handle my career now.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that comes out of all of these conversations that I have with people is that everyone who is a high performer has gone through big challenges in their life, has gone through discomfort in their life, and has been able to deal with that. And I think that's a really important learning lesson in our lives, actually. So we all grow from those changes. I'd love to talk a little bit more about music and obviously amazing musical family you come from. Was Dad, what did he do? Did he sing? Did he play an instrument? Or what did he do?
Yeah, he played the guitar, played the piano, sings, compose. He actually learned in a guitar with only 2 strings. When he was like, he was only like 8 years old. He said that music was his refugee, like when he would, because you know, he learned with an old guitar that was in somewhere in their house that someone put away in the garage, and he found it and he would just go into his room and then just make music himself. So that was kind of like powerful when he told me the story.
And Mom, did she do anything musically?
Oh no, she's the one that makes sure we all sound good.
She's the one pushing you all.
It's funny because my mom she does not know anything about music, but she is the most critical person you would know in the planet. She's like, that does not sound good. You played the wrong note. I'm like, you don't even know I noticed that. I feel it. I know it. It's like, okay. And she's right.
So you had that amazing combination of one parent who was deeply passionate about music and the other parent who was deeply into discipline, structure, performance. Great combination,
correct.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a powerful combination. And when when you started, did you start by, you know, you started an instrument early, or you just were singing all the time, or how did it start for you? How do you remember?
I would say my first instrument was singing because I was like singing since I remember how to talk.
Yeah.
So, but my first instrument was the violin. At the age of 7, I fell in love with the instrument. I'm still trying to figure out the name of the movie that inspired me, but it was a movie about a girl that was an orphan and she played the violin on the streets to support her family.
Ah,
And that was very powerful, impactful. And I remember that movie was like, I told my dad, I want a violin, I want to play on the streets like the girl, I love the sound.
yeah,
That was when my dad came
yeah,
after like a week or two from a trip, and he brought me a violin
yeah.
for the first time. That was the most beautiful probably gift I've ever received in my life.
Amazing. Absolutely. I can imagine the smile on your face.
Oh, I was even sleeping with the violin next to me in the bed. That's how much I was so obsessed because I was like, I don't want to lose it.
Obviously, I can imagine your mum driving you as you were practicing. So you would spend many hours a day practicing.
Yes, she would make sure that I practice enough. So from like 2 to 3 hours a day, we will walk to my mom was not driving at that time, only my dad. We will walk to the school, to the after school program, the conservatory, and she will walk us for like 15 minutes away from her house. So we would go, she would stay with us there, make sure that we would practice, we'll come back very strict. So there were points in my life where I hated practice, hated it.
Yeah.
I would like all my friends say, I remember you crying in the window, playing your violin while we were all outside playing, and I'm never gonna forget that.
I can imagine
And
it.
tears.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine it. But obviously,
Yeah.
she knew, right? She knew that you needed to put in that effort and those hours.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
needed to be pushed. You
yeah,
know, as a kid, it's something I'm still gonna implement when I have kids in the future. I think as a kid, we're very like emotional. We like to try everything, which is amazing,
yeah,
but very rarely stick to one thing because it's not easy. So you
yeah,
do need someone to push you. At
yeah,
that moment, I didn't think it was as important or, in my life as it is now. And it was so key for me to be professional right now that my mom pushed me and
yeah,
made me cry and all that, because otherwise I would have probably not stuck to music. I mean, I would have stuck to music, but not to the professional level that I
yeah,
am now.
yeah. And was your dream from early that music was going to be your future?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I knew from always, I was like, I'm not going to have a normal job. I
yeah,
am not going to be the normal person. I'm going to work like it's not going to be a work, it's going to be a lifestyle.
yeah,
And music is going to be what is gonna take me around the world, and I'm gonna be able to share this talent that God has given me with others through singing, writing songs, playing the violin. I didn't know I was gonna be a DJ back then. So life changes so much, and DJing came 10 years ago in my life,
yes,
and producing too 10
yes.
years ago. So all I knew was like music in general.
Yeah. And how did you make that change? How did it go from, being this classical violinist to actually becoming, an electronic music artist, a DJ, a producer? How did that happen?
I feel like when I moved to this country, the music, I was exposed more to other genres of music. Because growing up in Colombia, all I knew was like violin, classical, you go to the orchestra.
Yeah.
So I had no idea until I moved to this country and I was given an opportunity to play the violin by ear with a DJ. And when I had that experience, I knew that was my lane. And I'm going to be honest, I was not the best at classical music. Yeah, I was really good, but I was not the best.
Yeah.
However, I always knew how competitive it has a cap,
Yeah.
right? And I don't like caps.
Yeah.
I don't like this is the highest you could get, or you could get to first chair and that's it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I need something more than that. I cannot be just that. I need to move forward. Like I want to leave a legacy. I want to make an impact. What can I do with what I have that I can inspire other people to just think outside the box and do something completely different? And that's where I saw my niche. I was like doing the violin to the not expected genre from hip hop to EDM. I was doing violin to every single genre, even like Israeli music, like all that when I was like younger. So that actually just like opened up I was like, this is my lane. And I need to learn how to DJ and produce
Yeah.
because that's the only way I'm going to be able to create a full on experience for people and not be only an add on instrument to someone else's music.
That's so interesting. I mean, how that happened. And when you started doing it, did it feel right straight away?
Haven't you felt something in life that like you are placed in certain situations that it just falls and feels so right that you're like, oh my God, I was like literally meant to be. And this leads to something and something because of my faith. And I always ask God, please place me in front of the right people.
Yeah.
Bring me the right opportunities.
Yeah.
The decision makers, like what it needs to, because it's not easy.
Yeah.
And we all need help. I think so many things have just been aligned in that aspect, and I'm so grateful because I even surprise me every day more and more. I'm still learning. This is a learning process. This is not where I'm barely getting started, and it's practice, knowledge, being innovative. Things are changing so fast. I have to keep up with everything around me. So,
well, I'm going to ask you about technology. Actually, why not now? So obviously, I work in technology, so I'm seeing firsthand what's happening with AI, for example. Are you using it in your music? Are you exploring? Is it a tool that, Tell me about it a little bit.
I feel like AI is like when internet came out, like the first time years ago, when like I know the stories my dad used to tell me. And some people refuse to it, some people embrace it.
Yeah.
I am all for technology, embracing the future. Why? Because you can't fight it. It's here for a reason. And I feel everything is a tool. I see AI as another employee in my life.
Yeah.
That I could delegate something and he's going to do something that I could just pay a person or AI. Yeah. So I decide, right? It's a tool that is very powerful. I am the creator. I am the A&R of my music. I am the inspiration. I use AI as a tool of guidance, or when I'm asking questions, or when I'm like, okay, give me this rather than this and let me see how it sounds. I decide and I finish it and make it type of thing.
Yeah.
So in every aspect, there's so many different types of AI that help, like mix, master, and other stuff.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, we're the ones who decide if we like it or not. I'm not going to put a song with, something that doesn't sound good. Yeah. Obviously, I'm the one that always makes the last decisions.
Do you think with AI that we will, in the future, have AI artists who are superstars?
I think so. I think there is already AI artists out there. They're testing our acceptance to the idea of having AI artists. Now, do I think they will replace us? Definitely not. I don't see it as a competition at all whatsoever. No, I feel the human aspect will never be replaced by anything else, because we are a creation of God and He put us here for a reason. Yeah. And He's the only one that is going to be able to take us away and replace us with something else. So I see it is going to happen. It will be kind of like cool to see what people are going to kind of like, how are they going to embrace it? Yeah.
You believe that we have a soul, right? Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely.
And so technology, in your mind, is never going to replace us because technology does not have a soul.
Technology needs us.
Right.
Yeah. Technology needs our soul to make it come alive. It could create anything, but I mean, a song made by an AI person needs a human to feel it so it could be alive. Yeah. And I could approve it. So at the end of the day,
I mean, it's a really interesting debate that's going on at the moment between creators on the one hand and technologists on the other hand, because creators, and I'm on the creator side here, would say technology's great at taking everything that's been done before and showing you what can be done with that. What
Mhm.
creators do is they can create things that are totally new and that have never been done before. And that's the distinction. And I'm just, I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah,
this will all play out. I absolutely don't know. But I'm a big believer in the power of human voices and human stories. And that's what I think we should amplify: human voices and human stories.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We are not going to go anywhere. Technology is going to come, stay, or go, who knows?
Yeah.
But I use it as I need it. If
Yeah.
I need, I use. If
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
don't use.
No, that's great. Let's talk about values. I mean, obviously, I got a strong sense of who you are, the family you grew up in. Obviously, family values were incredibly powerful and strong. Your faith has been very important to you. Have there been any values that you felt you had that have been challenged as you've gone through your life and career so far?
Well, I feel in life, all your values are always tested. Every one and single one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that could tell me now, maybe you lived under a bed and never went outside. From, yeah,
Yeah.
from loyalty, from like being able to, be transparent with people. Everything is always tested. And at the end of the day, we choose.
Yeah.
That's why I feel the best example is the way how I live my life. I live my life. I treat people
Yeah.
with respect. I appreciate people and I tell them I appreciate them.
Yeah.
So they know that I'm grateful. Gratitude is super important. Like, you know, loyalty, very important. I'm loyal to all my people and I expect the same from them.
Yeah.
I do take that if anybody around me does not have the same values
Yeah.
to myself, we cannot be aligned or we cannot work together.
Yeah.
So that's very important for me.
Yeah.
If I choose, it's my decision. That is always how it's going to be because I never like to put in a jeopardize my identity at all whatsoever, just because
Yeah.
if it doesn't feel right, I would just not do it. And if you're not a good person, I know
Yeah.
you cannot lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had the opportunity to work with anyone who you were excited about working with, but actually as you got to know them, you felt that they were not someone who you felt comfortable with?
I feel that there was like a couple of people throughout my career. No one super famous. All the
Yeah.
famous people that I work with, I always wanted to work with them, and I already knew like I'm a fan, like Snoop Dogg. I like huge fan of him.
Yeah.
Like so it's like other people that I've encountered in my life. It's very interesting because it's just fallen apart.
Yeah.
I feel like God protects me
Right.
even before things
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
And things could have gone a completely different way, but it just all of a sudden sometimes it just vanishes. And I see it like, oh, this is protection. Something could have happened. I don't see it like it's my fault.
Yeah. Do you think you have a strong instinct for other people and how you feel about other people?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I'm the type of friend, it's so interesting. My girlfriends tell me I'm the type of friend that I could just look in the circle and I'm like, it's not that I don't like that person. I just know that that person is not a good person. And they end up falling off with that person just like, you were so right. And I'm just like, I don't need to go. I'm like, I don't need to go through I don't need to wait for someone to do something to me.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
My aura already feels it and either rejects it or embraces it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Interesting.
I don't fight it.
You're in a business, obviously, where there are a lot of women talent, but possibly less at the business level. It's still quite a male industry at the business level. How has that affected you? How do you feel about that?
Oh, it has not been easy.
Yeah.
Not yet. And I see it that it's still a male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
Not for too long, but it is still right now.
Watch out, guys.
Watch, we're coming. Not only me, but I'm trying to gather there's an amazing, talented woman around me. Yeah. And I see their talent and I want to see them win too. It's time for us. It's not a competition. It is, hey, we could all shine, men and women could all shine. I want to inspire more young females to enter any male dominated industry, because this is going to be our way to inspiring others and showing
Yeah.
there's space for all of us. There's no discrimination, there's no competition. So I do feel it's been very hard. My whole career is still not easy as of now, but one of the things I've said is like, I'm willing to walk the extra mile.
Yeah.
I'm still in production classes, I still have mentors, I still spend hours working on music, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to sit down with a male producer and DJ and being able that they know I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, those are the things I have to prove myself. And it's unfortunate, but we have to. It's part of it. And if I have to prove myself, I will be willing to do it.
You'd like to see more women on the business end of the industry?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's still very few, and we carry a lot with us. We carry a lot of passion. We carry a lot of story behind us. And I feel it's the moment for us not to be scared or feel intimidated at all. Like, it's our time, it's our moment.
Yeah, I like that. Which takes me really nicely on to a section I call sort of ego and humility. And there's a really interesting balance, isn't there, between confidence and knowing that you can do something really well, but not having an ego that makes you really difficult to deal with. And, you know, I've come from years in the movie industry and worked with a lot of people who had very big egos, and often they're very difficult to work with. I mean, you've performed with some huge stars. How has that been? You know, what was that like?
You know, the experience I've had with, like, you know, pretty big artists has been really good so far.
Yeah.
And I have nothing bad to say about any of them at all whatsoever. Like, from Maluma, when I was on tour with him in Europe, Snoop Dogg, Zed, DJ Snake, David Guetta, Steve Aoki, everybody, beautiful people inside out. I had really good experiences.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel when you are sometimes at that level, like, you've kind of learned sometimes that ego is your biggest enemy, and there's a reason why you are loved by other people and very successful. And I like to work with people that are loved by other people and they're successful, and they don't have the ego, you know, they're like, people don't talk bad about them. So I always do my research.
Yeah.
So I always ask, I'm like, how was the experience? How is it working with them? Like, was it, and everybody has something good to say. And I'm like, I don't want to kill my experience.
Yeah.
Having to work with somebody with a huge ego.
Yeah.
I'll walk out.
Yeah. I like what you said, because I think you said something really important. You said these guys, or these people who've been super successful, they're successful for a reason. And the reason is actually they understand how to give intense pleasure to a large group of people, to their fans. But almost by definition, you need not to have a big ego to be able to do that. You need to put yourself into the shoes of all these people and understands what gives them pleasure and what gives them joy. So I hadn't thought about it from that perspective, but that's a really impactful point, actually.
Yeah, that makes a real leader. And as an artist, you're also a leader. We're leading our teams, we're leading our fans, we're inspiring other people. I've had to check myself throughout my life with ego, but I'm not perfect. I've had moments where I've had even ego myself, and I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, I'm my own therapy, by the way. So I talk to myself a lot, and I'm like, this is, I sound crazy. Yeah, I don't have real therapy. I'm like, I talk back and forth
you check
to
yourself,
myself.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I check myself.
Yeah.
You know, ego could kill the biggest opportunity in your life.
Yeah.
Could destroy your career.
Yeah.
Kill your inspiration so much. And I'm always making sure that does not. And I always remember where I came from. I came from Monteria, a small town that a lot of people don't know where that is. And I went through a lot, and I am no different than anybody else.
Yeah.
So now I do like people respecting me, respecting my craft. So
Yeah.
I've set my boundaries.
Yes.
And that is different. I do
Yes.
let people know I respect you, you respect me, and these are my
Yes.
boundaries. And I'm
Yes.
confident that I could do a very good job because I'm giving it my best.
I think that sounds strong, balanced, right.
Yeah.
You need to be professionally respected, but that is, you take pride in what you do, of course.
Yeah, we all work hard. Yeah.
But I think you're right. That right balance of ego and humility is not always easy, but important.
Very important. Very important in life. Yes. Never treat anybody with disrespect. Yeah.
I want to ask you a bit about your mission, because you're obviously a woman with, strong values, strong beliefs, strong commitment. You've achieved amazing things. As you say, it's only the start of the journey. There's so much more to do. So tell me a little bit about what more you'd like to do. What's your vision of the future?
Oh my God, I have so much work to do. But I'll probably say one of the legacies I want to leave behind through my music, it's a really good message of values, love, and inspiration. I want people, when they hear my music, feel positive. I want people to sing along, and the music internally would just like make them feel alive. Sing every lyric like it's just fueling their lives. I don't like to write about negative things. I like to write about all the positive things. There's way too many negative things happening around our lives. I always write about the perspective of seeing the negative come positive.
Yeah.
And how that has influenced my life. So that is the main purpose with my music being heard around the world. And obviously the legacy leaving behind, it's music programs.
Yes.
Music changed my life. Music helped me go through the hardest moments of my life.
Yeah.
And I know it could help a lot of youth that are going through any time of their life. Either they keep it to become professional or not.
Yeah.
I want to leave school programs and music programs in the less privileged communities around the world where youth could find purpose. They could find a space of safety through music.
Yeah.
It could be violin, piano, singing, guitar, but I think music is a powerful tool, and why not spread it and use it?
Yeah.
So that's one of my, besides touring around the world and performing at the biggest stages and collabing, that is my end goal.
I mean, obviously, coming from Colombia and Latin America, you have a huge population that is, economically not well off. And there are not that many opportunities for what looks like a good future. And music is something that's powerful and beautiful and inspiring and uplifting. So I can really see that mission is important. There have been a few big Latin stars, obviously. And so you're not alone in that respect. But I can see that you can have a really impactful and meaningful presence on a lot of people's lives. And that must be important to you.
It's very important. It's a purpose. I feel like, music, it's not for fame. Fame is kind of like a validation from people. So you could be heard type of thing. Like, I'll listen to you because you're famous type of thing. But at the end of the day, it's that, because that's really what brings me joy. I have a nonprofit called South Angels, and I went to my hometown, Monteria, and I gave musical instruments. The joy I receive by doing that it's unique. It's something beyond. It fulfills my heart, and I want to do it. So it's a passion of mine.
I love that you're living such a purpose-driven life. It is great to meet someone with that sort of clarity of vision of what they want to do. It's so powerful.
Thank you. I feel that my spirituality has helped me a lot to discover that. Because there was periods in my life where I was not clear, and I went through depression and a lot of different things in my life, eating disorders and everything. But that's part of the journey.
Yeah.
Everything has not been colorful and pink and beautiful. Of course,
Yes.
my ups and downs are like, would really help me discover this purpose. And I have it so clear in my head now that it makes it easier for me to stay focused and
Yeah.
just keep going.
Yeah, and there will be people listening to this who are not having a good time in their life, and it would be perhaps interesting to hear about a time when you were having challenges and how you dealt with them. Maybe there's a story that you could share about something that you had to deal with.
Yes, it's actually, I believe it was 2018. There was two moments, but I would talk about like kind of like my eating disorder because I
Yeah.
have not talked about that ever. It's with nobody actually. So I had an eating disorder in 2018, and it was depression, but not the type of depression that you would think. It was depression of loneliness.
Right.
I at that moment was touring the world. Like I was with Maluma. I was like, my career was good. It
Yeah.
was something internal within myself. It was, I felt empty. I felt that stuff were missing, and food was my outlet.
Right.
So my eating disorder started with, I felt lonely. I just wanted to eat until like I would want to throw up.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it was. And I was like a full year of going through those emotions that I didn't understand. Why am I doing this? I'm not even hungry, but I need something in my hand, or like I just want to cry. So it was like depression with eating disorder. I wanted to throw up every time I would eat. That was killing my body and my system. And I was the 2019, at the beginning of 2019, and I remember praying to God, and I said, I am tired of this. People see me on social media and they think I am the happiest person, but they don't know that when I get home, I'm literally crying in my bed and I'm stuffing myself with whatever I find in the fridge.
Yeah.
And it's just not good. And then throwing up. I was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
I need help.
Yeah.
And it's okay to ask for help. And that's one of the things that I encourage people. We all go through these moments in life. We all go through the hardest, whatever it is. It's okay to ask for help. Like, do not go through the pain alone.
Yeah.
There's always people that are going to be able to give you a hand. And for me, God put the right people in front of me. And I do remember getting help, not only from God, but getting help from the people that were surrounding me. I started opening out myself and telling them the way how I was feeling. And that's where things just were kind of like clearing up. But the ask for help was my outlet, and God placed the right people in front of me.
And that's a really hard thing to do, particularly when you're someone who is, as you say, your career was going well. You had, perhaps people had an image of you as a certain type of very strong woman, and then you had to be vulnerable and weak, I guess, right? And it's hard to do that.
Oh yeah, that's where you kill your ego. Those are like processes where you're like, oh, I don't want to tell this person because I look so good. They think I'm this and that. No, like, like if I would have not done that and I kind of like put my ego down and asked for help, like who knows?
Yeah.
Would have developed something worse in my system.
Yeah.
So I'm glad like those moments like, were needed.
Are you one of these people when you wake up in the morning, are you always positive? Are you, is that your sort of personality?
So this year I started doing a prayer with my mom every weekday. She calls me at 6:45 a.m. before she goes into her school because she's a school teacher.
Right.
And she calls me and then we do a 15-minute prayer.
Nice.
And yes, and I wanted to do that different this year. I'm like, I want to start my year with prayer, but with my mom.
Okay.
And we started doing that. So I would say since I've been doing that, like sometimes, like, of course, you don't wake up always super happy, but setting the tone of like a prayer as the first thing in the morning, honestly, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been beautiful to me. Yeah. So I've been waking up very in a good mood.
I love that story of sharing that precious time with your mom. I mean, that's great, right?
Yeah. I mean, like I get to talk to my mom and we get to do a prayer before we start the day. And I am pretty sure it's going to make a huge difference in my 2026.
Yeah, I'm sure it
I
will.
do believe that.
Yeah, I believe that too. Who do you think has seen the most versions of you?
For sure, my family, my brothers, they're the
Right.
most critical. And they have seen me in every single version of
Right.
myself.
Yeah.
And they always compare them, laugh at me, and like, they're brothers.
Yeah, of course.
Then something that I do want to share more with my fans and everybody. It's just things that they don't really know that much about me, and I'm making an effort this 2026 to share all this, stories and things that I have not shared before, and I really
Yes.
want people to know and feel connected more with me. So I do want people to know more versions of myself and see all those versions and see all the old versions and see me now. And I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
important. I think people have these preconceptions with people they admire or who are high performers in whatever they do, that it's, like you said, it's easy. It's not easy. It's never easy. Or well, the path has always been straightforward for them. We know that's not the case. We all suffer from doubt. We all suffer from anxiety. It's totally natural. It's how you react in the difficult moments that really define who you are, right?
Totally. It's the reaction,
Yeah.
the perspective you look at it, the mindset you are on.
Yeah.
Like from anything negative that happens in my life, still, whatever negative it always happens, I always see it like something worse could have happened. Like, let's say, for example, someone hits my car. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't fall off the bridge.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or it's just the car, not me, right?
It's just a car, not me. Worse things could always happen. I'm like, this is the best thing could have happened to me at this moment.
Exactly.
Because something worse could always happen.
Yeah.
So having that mentality, it's always going to keep me in a positive mindset.
Yeah. You talk to your mum every day because obviously you do your daily devotional with her. What about dad? How often do you talk to him?
Oh, yeah. So my dad, I talk probably like twice, 3 times a week. He calls me. It's so funny. My dad called me yesterday. He went to the studio with one of his friends because he still makes music, and his biggest passion is to release an album, right? I always tell him, Dad, wait for me. I will make your whole album. But he's not that patient. So he loves it. So he called me yesterday and he's like, I'm here with my friend and I just showed him your song. Daughter, that song is so amazing. And the boy, how you play the violin. And then he passed me his friend and I'm like, hi.
I love that.
Hilarious.
Oh, that's great.
But those are the type of conversations we have. He calls me for music, my dog, and like things like that. It's such a dad thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's absolutely great. I want to ask you, you've worked with a lot of different people and you're going to carry on working with a lot of different people. What has working with people taught you about other people?
Everybody has their own expectations and their own personalities, and it's good for me as an artist to understand them and being able to put them also as a priority when I'm working with them.
Yeah.
Kind of hear what their needs are when we're making music or what their expectations are. Because sometimes, and I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I've forgotten and I'm like, I want it like this, I want it like that. No, but the other person always has a vision when you are creating with and working with them. Yeah. So making them be heard. Yeah, that they matter is super important so that the workflow is smoother and we all align into the same purpose. Yeah,
I like that. I mean, I always say, I use this phrase all the time, never judge a person until you walk a mile in their shoes. And I always think it's so important when you're working with anyone in whatever type of relationship, that you try and put yourself in their shoes and understand from their perspective, right?
Totally. We never know. We don't know their stories. We don't know their struggles. We just know what is being shared to us. So definitely putting ourselves in their shoes or letting them be them without judgment. I'll probably say it's important in creating good art and magic.
Do you ever come across people who are jealous or who, I guess, even try and sabotage you or, make life more difficult for you?
They're gone. I cut them off.
Right.
They're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And
Yeah.
they are very far away from me now.
Yeah.
I realized those people were part of a detox that I had to do in my life every time I wanted to ascend to the
Yeah.
next level.
Yeah.
When I feel stuck, I look within me, but I always look at my circle and I'm like, there's a reason why I'm stuck. I need to check everybody around me and who's getting access to me. This needs to be put into attention.
Yeah.
And I've happened. I've cut people out of my life,
Yeah.
In a very polite way, but I choose who I want to work with.
Yeah.
I get to choose who I want to create with, because that's a representation of who I am.
Yeah.
And if they've been jealous and everything, I'm telling you, they're gone
Yeah.
right now. They're not around me.
You are trying to do something that is demanding and you have to be at a high level to perform well, and you want positive energy around you.
Yeah.
But you also need to take risks sometimes, right?
Absolutely. Risk is super important. And that's why I say that's part of the process. You take risk by working with certain people, aligning with certain people. And then there's your decision if to know fast enough if it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait until, that's why I say I don't have to wait until something bad really happens. We have to be very intuitive and very aligned with knowing those signs and knowing what are my deal breakers. So I could accept this, but I can't accept this. And to me, I do believe in second chances. I've given people second chances.
Yeah.
And those second chances have not gone anywhere.
Yeah, interesting.
So I've learned something now on. I'm sorry, but I'm not giving second chances. This is my decision, because everybody I gave a second chance, I was very disappointed.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to be a bit ruthless, right?
Yes. You got to be protective.
Yeah.
We're protecting our craft. We're protecting our art, and it's for a purpose. This is not, so everything has to be aligned, from the people, the energy, the intentions. I'm very protective of that because of all my past experiences.
Yeah.
I've been blocked in my mind. I've been to points in my life where I can't even write a song.
Yeah.
And that's the most frustrating situation as an artist, not being able to write a song. And it's like you check yourself and I was like, what is going on? Maybe people around you, maybe a relationship around you is blocking you.
Yeah.
But I'm on a time of my life right now we're speaking, I have been able to shred from that, and I am on a roll, writing 2-3 songs in one day. Like, it's crazy. Amazing. How my inspiration is so good. So I feel aligned right now. I feel yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes creative juices come out of conflict and come out of pain and come out of sadness as well, right? I mean, you're clearly not going through a period like that, but that can be a period of creativity, right? Those things.
And I believe that is the perception. So you create from a point of something that went bad, right?
Yeah.
Now, me, because I'm talking for myself, I do not create from a point of my hardships. I haven't wrote about in that, oh my God, it's so much pain and I created something. I've seen it like it's hard, and I'm seeing it so positive, like it's different. So I like to create from a love standpoint because of the type of music I'm creating, and a mentality that it has to be in a certain type of mindset for me to create the style of music and the song and the words that are gonna fit the music and where it's gonna be played. Because I do EDM music, right?
Yeah.
Uplifting. You're in a festival around tons of people. I'm not going to be singing around like the hearts of love. I don't want to wake you guys. I want to make you feel powerful. You're like Superman. You are taking over the world, and you're going to. So because of my purpose with the music I'm creating, it's super important that.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for being fearless, unapologetic, and inspiring to getting out of the box, to not being a person that is boxed.
Yeah.
That you could do it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever that's why we remember, like, do not box me. We are doing everything we want to do.
And there's a lot still to come, right?
A lot. I still have a lot of work to do. I am growing. I'm learning. As I was saying, I just finished my first song that I fully produced, wrote, mixed, and mastered all on my own. And
you're a one-woman studio.
Yes. It's a one-woman studio. And exactly that was like my purpose this year. I was like, I am tired of waiting. I'm tired of relying on other people. I got to take control. So I'm going to do this on my own. And I took classes to do the mixing, the master, got mentors, and I finished my first song and I feel so good. And I'm like, I want people to feel that they could do that. Whatever type of business you are, whatever you are doing, you take hands and control of it and you could do it. Whatever, how many hats you need to wear, it's at the end of the day, it's like how much work you want to put into it.
What do you think people should worry less about?
Worry less about the people that give you constructive criticism that have not done nothing. You know, do not worry about everything. I've had so many people and so many like, oh, you should have done this in that song. You should have done this. Do not tell me. Like, you know, I get it, if I ask someone for advice in this, it's the right people I want to ask for and the right people I want to listen to. But worry about, and 100% of the time, we worry about what people think about us, and they're not even thinking about us. They're thinking about themselves, and we're just stressing out that they're thinking about us. They wake up thinking about themselves. How you wake up thinking about yourselves, exactly the other people. I don't wake up thinking about like, oh, the person that did this and messed up in this situation. I'm like, I don't remember them.
I like to end our conversation with a few rapid fire questions. You can give me one-word answers or you can give me short answers. So, what's one thing on your bucket list that you still want to do?
World tour.
World tour.
Stadium world tour.
Great. Sounds great. Where do we sign up? I love that. Which book or movie has had a major impact on you?
The one that I mentioned.
The one with the
name.
The violinist. Yeah.
The violinist.
Okay. Call out to all our listeners, right? Whoever's listening to this and can think of the name of that movie, let us know. So Esther can know.
Okay. Finally know.
Okay. What everyday activity brings you the most joy?
Making music.
Who's a personal hero of yours or someone who inspires you?
Alive or not alive?
Oh, give me one of each.
Okay, not alive, Jesus Christ. And alive, I would probably say my dad is a huge inspiration for me. Yeah, he's the reason why I still keep going. Mm-hmm.
And how would you describe this stage of your life?
I would probably say aligned.
I like it.
I feel I am aligned where I need to. I am clear. It's very clear, my alignment. I feel that.
Well, I have to say, it's been a real pleasure talking to you. You're someone with tremendous positive energy. I love that.
Thank you.
A clear mission and vision of what you're doing and how you want to do it. I know you're going to go on to bigger and bigger success. And, I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me. I had the best time with you and chatting and sharing things that I have not said before. So
I love
great.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Echoes Across Time. If this conversation made you pause, reflect, or see legacy in a new way, share it with someone you'd want to remember you by. You can follow the journey and join our community wherever you listen to your podcasts. I'm Tim Levy, reminding you your story is already part of someone else's legacy.